Late February morning in 2002 when Brenda Heist dropped her children off at school. Just like every other day. A kiss, a tired smile, an unspoken promise. See you later. But that later never came. From that moment on, she was gone. Vanished without a trace. The car stayed parked. The house remained tidy. Life itself seemed to freeze. All of Pennsylvania wondered. Kidnapping? Murder? Escape? Her husband filed a missing person report. Her children waited. Searches went on for weeks. Then months. Then years. In 2010, 8 years later, she was declared legally dead. A funeral without a body. Coffin filled with silence. But Brenda was alive. She just wasn't the same anymore. 11 years later, in 2013, she walked into a police station in Key West, Florida. Her face was hollow, her hair gray, her eyes the kind that had seen too much. She said only, "My name is Brenda Heist. I disappeared 11 years ago." The officers were speechless. The woman before them was a ghost returned in flesh and blood. Slowly, in a trembling voice, she told the truth. That day in 2002, her life was collapsing. Her marriage failing, money running out, fear consuming her. She went to a park to breathe, to calm herself. There, she met 3 strangers, drifters, people who lived on nothing, and, in a sudden impulse, she followed them. She never went home. She never called anyone. She vanished. For 11 years she lived like a shadow, sleeping under bridges and in tents, surviving on scraps, drifting along the American coast. No ID, no past, no name. Only a body that refused to die and a mind that tried to forget. "I was tired of being myself," she would later say. "I just wanted to disappear." When she reappeared, her family didn't know how to react. Her husband, now remarried, kept his distance. Her children, grown up without a mother, had no words. How do you forgive an absence that long? How do you talk to someone who chose not to be there? Brenda tried to reconnect. She wrote letters, made phone calls, asked to meet. But it was like knocking on a door that had been closed for too long. The mother who had returned from nowhere was no longer a memory of love. She was a reopened wound. Time had erased her from their lives, and now no one knew where she belonged. Authorities hospitalized her. Her body was frail from hunger, her hands rough with calluses, and her eyes empty from years spent walking in darkness. They gave her food, a bed, medical care, but peace cannot be prescribed. In the few interviews she gave, her words hovered between guilt and survival. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just wanted to escape the pain." Brenda's story sparked a fierce debate. How much can the weight of daily life break a mind? How far can desperation push a person? And most of all, is it possible to return when everyone has already learned to live without you? Today, it's said she lives quietly in a small Florida community, far from the spotlight, without fanfare, perhaps with a dog and a small garden to tend. She never got her family back, but she found a fragile balance, a silence that almost feels like peace. Her story has no heroes, no moral lesson. It's simply the portrait of a woman who, one day, couldn't go on, and somehow found the courage to come back anyway. Because some escapes aren't born from selfishness, but from despair. And some returns don't fix anything, but still mean everything. Brenda Heist didn't come back to be forgiven. She came back to remind us that sometimes, those who run away are just trying to survive. Heist's daughter, Morgan Heist, now a 19-year-old college student, said she is not eager to restart their relationship. Her ex-husband, who was reportedly shunned by some neighbors after his wife's disappearance, is also still coming to terms with her return. "It's a real kick in the teeth to think your parents are dead." Her husband was a suspect, Ahern says. Life was tough for you and you just disappear. And now you're back? It's not that easy to reintegrate. Brenda Heist may be back from the dead, but her actions will continue to haunt her family. For weird, true, and intriguing stories, kindly like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.